and welcome back everyone to the video series dedicated show on MTV that is deathly afraid of heights and love. Man, that kind of hit close to home. But that's right, I'm talking about The Challenge Season 38, Ride or Dies. And we got a lot to cover in this review and recap, so let's start off where last episode left off, and that was Sam and Kayla heading out, finding the exit, as Bananas and Nany are finding the entrance to the season, and majority of the cast is shocked, that is, except for Jay, who is not so happy and not so welcoming to Bananas specifically. However, on the other end, Michelle, his partner, is very excited to see Bananas and Nany, more specifically Nany, because last season Michelle said that her and Nany were getting close, and then they got even closer outside of the challenge game. So seeing her come into the game, Michelle's thinking, this is awesome. Another friend is entering the game to help me. So Bananas and Nany are officially entering the game. They're a part of the cast, and they go join the group, and that's when Bananas makes a joke at Turbo's expense, saying he can't believe Turbo is still here. He hasn't murdered anybody yet, and Turbo gets a confessional saying how much he hates Bananas. He likes Nany, but hates Bananas. Then, golden moment here, when Nany turns around to try to get the lowdown of who went home first, and everybody tells them that it was Kayla and Sam, and Tori and Devin sent them home, and then Laurel lets the cat out of the bag that Casey and Kenny had been sent home. And Nany's face when she hears that is golden. It was great. It was incredible seeing that, like, shock, like, what? But that's when we go back to the challenge house, and Bananas finds out that his new roommate for the season is Devin, and they even push the beds together, and Devin lets it be known that, wow, I can't believe you're in this game, and I'm actually very happy that you, Bananas, is in this game. Last time we saw Bananas on the season, he and Wes, longtime rivals, had mended the fences in Total Madness. So now, in season 38, could we see the mending of the fences? The rivalry die out between Bananas and Devin? It seems that way. It seems like both are happy that each other is in the game, and they're going to be roommates going forward. We move to Bananas and Nany talking to Turbo in a hallway. Bananas is trying to squash the beef between him and Turbo, but Turbo hates Bananas. He calls him an idiot. He wants to walk away from him. He does walk away from him. And that's when Laurel tells Bananas that, hey, the same thing happened to me. Also, Devin at the elimination. Turbo is causing friction around the house. He's not very friendly, it seems, with a lot of people. The whole house is kind of being standoffish with Turbo as Turbo is being with them. And so it seems like the common enemy in the game right now is Turbo and Tamara. Mainly Turbo. Then we get a pretty emotional moment here where we have Nany talking to Tori and Laurel, and Nany's trying to get some game information, who's working with whom. That's when we hear about the Rookies Alliance, and the Rookies are trying to take out the Vets, and so that gets the cogs a-going of why the Vets need to stick together, and then that's when Nany lets everybody know that her mother had passed away pretty recently as to filming this season, and she wanted to come in, represent for her mother, carry on her legacy. My heart goes out to Nany and her family going through this loss. The next morning, Jay gives us a little insight into his and Michelle's game, where Jay is really working the rookie side of the house while Michelle tries to work the vet side of the house, and we'll see how that kind of gameplay can really put some tension on one team of Jay and Michelle, where they're trying to do what seems to be two different strategies. When I first heard the strategy, I was like, wow, that seems pretty good. But as the episode progressed, it just seemed like they weren't necessarily doing that together. It was more of a divide and conquer because each one is doing their own thing. And I'll talk more about that in tomorrow's Tiny Table Talk of Jay and Michelle's strategy, and did they make the right moves for this episode. I'll talk more about that in tomorrow's Tiny Table Talk. We go to Tori and Devin, who bring up Jordan. Tori is talking about her relationship with Jordan and how there wasn't a whole lot of closure. She had to get some help to deal with the breakup, and Devin talks about helping her out through that time. And just know that when this whole scene was happening, alarm bells should have been ringing in everybody's ear, because once you hear the name Jordan, And since we're in October, it kind of gave me Beetlejuice vibe that once he was brought up, boom, he's going to appear. Like, that was the big tell. But before we get into that, everybody dons their challenge gear to meet up with TJ at this week's daily challenge, which is a water daily challenge. But before we can get to the directions of this daily challenge, TJ lets it be known that Emmy and Nam are no longer in the game. Emmy could not hang. She did not want to be there, and so she quit, meaning Nam had to be DQ'd from the season again. This is like the third season in a row. Is there another challenger with worse luck than Nam to start off their challenge career? After TJ drops that news, we get into the instructions for this week's daily challenge called Balancing Act, where both players are going to have to jump into the water, swim to a rope ladder, climb up on their shipping containers, then grab their ropes, swing each of them onto a challenge teeter-totter, which then they're going to have to balance it out, and TJ will stop the time. The quickest duo to balance their bar will win safety and ultimate power for this week. It seems like a very simple daily challenge, but simple does not equal easy. It's not a synonym for easy. All but 4 teams DQ on this specific daily challenge. Olivia and Horacio are the first ones up, and normally it's a disadvantage to go first on a daily challenge, yet they crush it. They do such a good job. And then proceeding after them, team after team after team after team just drop the ball. You have Turbo and Tamara being DQ'd, Nerys and Scubanelli, which Scubanelli almost DQ'd himself, but had a miraculous catch after trying to hype up the crowd. But then Nerys fell into the water, Colleen and Kim, Tommy and Annalise, Mariah and Fessy, Raven and Johnny, Amber and Chauncey, Laurel and Jack, Jay and Michelle all fall into the water, wiping out. And that only leaves Olivia and Horacio, like I said. Devin and Tori are able to complete this daily challenge. Bananas and Nany. And then TJ is yelling for the last team to go. Wait a minute, what are you talking about? Everybody who's lined up is already gone. Who are you talking about, the last team? And that's when we see Casey and Kenny re-enter the game because Emmy and Nam had been pulled from the game because Emmy wanted to quit. So Casey and Kenny were replaced, and now they're replacing the replacements. What? Kenny and Casey go, they go last, and they actually complete this daily challenge. There's only 4 teams available to win this daily challenge, and it comes down to Bananas and Nany. Banany, their first daily challenge of the season, and they win it. We come back to the challenge house, and all hell breaks loose as Nany goes up to Turbo saying, look, I've heard from a lot of people that you said you wanted to go into an elimination. Do you really want to go into elimination? And Turbo just says, you know what? You're in power. You can do what you want. If you want to send me in, just send me in. And Nany's like, no, that's not what I'm trying to ask. Turbo is trying to walk away from the whole situation. Look, I get where Nany's coming in. You know, she's trying to ask Turbo, what does he really want out of this game? Do you want to go into elimination? Because I'll do that for you. But Turbo, from his perspective, is viewing this not as Nany trying to help him out. He's viewing this as Nany is asking him for his permission to send him into elimination because that's what she really wants. And I get this from the bedroom scene where Turbo says, when I see a friend, I don't go up to ask him if he needs help. I just help him. And Turbo takes this as like, you know what? If you were really my friend, you wouldn't even ask this. You would just know that I wouldn't want to put myself in danger. But Turbo's not going to back down. He's going to say, you know what? You want to send me in? Send me in. I'm not going to show any weakness. I'm not going to show any. And so this gets blown up to where Nany is frustrated heading into the deliberation with Bananas, and they're easily going to say Turbo and Tamara's name. Bananas wants to nominate Jay and Michelle because of the Johnny and Raven situation. They know that Jay and Johnny are super close in and out of the game, so they want to see where their cards lie, as well as bringing in yet another rookie pairing of Olivia and Horacio. Both the rookie teams that are nominated have done well in the first and second daily challenge, and they're working with Jay and Michelle. And that's why Jay and Michelle are brought in. They're like, hey, We want to see where your cards lie. Michelle is hurt personally by Nany nominating them, but it's mainly because Bananas and Nany can't trust Jay. Then Turbo and Tamara's interrogation lasts all but 2 seconds. Turbo gets up in frustration and just walks out the door, doesn't want to hear anything that Nany and Bananas has to say, and Tamara follows him. With Turbo and Tamara storming out of the interrogation, Nany and Bananas are like, well, they made our job easy enough. We're gonna call them to go directly into the elimination. We go to the bar scene, and everybody's having a good time, dancing, drinking. We see a little bit of sparks between Laurel and Horacio, and then we see Michelle and Nany talk about the decision of nominating Jay and Michelle. Nany is apologetic, but says that the main reason is because we can't trust your partner. We trust you. And Michelle even says, like, I will never let him put you guys in any danger. If we get into power, we won't nominate you. And then Michelle even has a confessional saying, like, Jay, step aside. I want to take over strategy. Let's go to the zone, which is the elimination for this week. TJ calls down all 4 teams that are in danger. Bananas and Nany call out Turbo and Tamara to go directly into this week's elimination, and that means that there are 3 teams ready for the draw. We have Olivia and Horacio pulling out a blank dagger. Then we have Johnny and Raven pulling out another blank dagger, and I have to say that while watching this episode, I had the same thought as Raven, because Johnny was like, I'm gonna let you pick the sword, you go with it. Johnny and Raven are in the middle. Last episode, the safe dagger was in the middle. And so why pick your own sword right in front of you when that was a safe sword last week? So I would have done exactly what they would have done and pulled the right-hand sword, which was blank, meaning Jay and Michelle pull the middle sword, revealing that they are indeed safe. But now with safety comes great power, and they have to figure out a team to, 1, make safe, which then in turn makes the team go directly into an elimination. And that leads to Jay and Michelle having a one-on-one conversation, whispering with each other, getting a little huddle here. And Michelle really wants to send in Johnny and Raven. But Jay is like, look, if I gave them my word and everybody thinks that we are best friends, then I look like a betrayer. I look like a backstabber. And that's going to follow me around. And nobody will trust me after this. So we have to save them. So Jay makes the executive decision and saves Johnny and Raven, meaning we have Turbo and Tamara versus Olivia and Horacio in this week's elimination called Memory Lane. Both teams have giant memory boards with a whole bunch of different cards with different designs that they're going to have to match up. One team member at a time will have to run out to their memory board, flip over 2 cards, flip them back over if they're not a match, and then run back and tag in their partner who will do the same thing until one team comes in with all 12 of their pairs first. If you can do that, you win, you get to stay in this game, and the other team is vamonos, gone, hit the exits. Now this elimination was exciting to me at the beginning because this is Turbo's first ever elimination. Then you have 2 really good rookies in Olivia and Horacio, at least for this episode, because they were one of only 4 teams to complete the daily challenge. So I was excited to see how this episode and this elimination was gonna go. That is until the crowd decided to pipe in and help out Olivia and Horacio, and it made this super one-sided. I get it. They have a way better social game than Turbo and Tamara, and nobody was going to help them try to beat out Olivia and Horacio. Nobody in the house really wanted Turbo to come back into the game. So they were going to do everything in their power to make sure that they were going to help Olivia and Horacio win and make sure that Turbo and Tamara were gone. Now, we've talked about this over the seasons, that crowd participation, audience participation in an elimination can seem very unfair, and there has been a lot of criticism inside the game and in my comment section about Turbo and the way he was playing this game, how he was coming off, and how he was picking fights with everybody. So I'm sure that there are people in the audience happy that Turbo and Tamara are gone. I just prefer if people win eliminations by their own merit. But as Johnny Bananas would say in his quote, all's fair in love, war, and the challenge. And no rules were broken in the house helping Olivia and Horacio winning. They win, meaning Turbo and Tamara are leaving the game. Olivia and Horacio rejoin the group. TJ says, all right, everybody, remember anything can happen in the challenge, and I'll see y'all next time. And everybody's getting ready to walk out and exit. But then TJ's like, whoa, one more thing I forgot to mention. And he calls out a player to join the game, and that player is Jordan. And you know when you see Jordan walking out, standing next to TJ, Tori's face just being absolutely shocked that this game is about to kick off. The drama level is going to turn up to a 12 in this game. And you know what? I got chills. I got goosebumps when I saw Jordan come running out, and just knowing that we are going to see some massive, massive drama. What a cliffhanger to end this episode on. But that is it for the review and recap for this week of the challenge, season 38, Ride or Dies. What'd you think about this episode? Let me know down in the comment section below. What'd you think about the daily challenge? What'd you think about the elimination? What'd you think about Bananas and Nany and their decision of their 4 teams to nominate? And what'd you think about Jay and Michelle's strategy in sending in Olivia and Horacio? Do you think they should have sent in Johnny and Raven instead? And what do you think about the whole house helping Olivia and Horacio against Turbo and Tamara? And are you sad or happy that Turbo and Tamara are gone? And are you happy or sad to see Jordan join the game? Let me know anything and everything. There were so many questions I had to ask you, but let me know anything and everything you thought about this episode down in the comments section below. Who are you rooting for? Who are you rooting against? Let me know that as well. I want to give a special shout out thank you to everyone who supports me over at patreon.com/angelcakevids. Thank you for your support. Thank you for your generosity. Thank you. And thank you to everyone who is watching this video up to this point. I'll be back very, very soon with more Challenge 38 content, more challenge content, more content in general. But until then, peace.